Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
Welcome to the RiverCityGamers Podcast. SCXCR.
Unreal.
And I'm AmayirotAkago, and apparently I'm the only one who's not feeling sick right now.
No, you're just fucking immune.
Oni, why did you turn into Luna Vachon at the end of that?
I have no idea.
I thought he fell into a washing machine.
I was trying to bust myself open.
No, you went to take out the trash.
By the way, we should make it official now. AmayirotAkago has joined RCG, and I forget, was he added before or after MJ?
Before.
Okay, so you are like the first official European contributor to the site.
Yay!
But you know what you didn't contribute a damn thing to today?
I think I know where this is going.
Gaming news!
Gaming news! So real.
Well, let's go ahead and start with some Steam news. And no, this isn't about they're apparently having 75 million unique users on Steam. It's about Steam Greenlight. As some of you might have heard, there was a tweet from Gabe Newell saying that he wants to make Greenlight, quote, go away.
But not in the way you might think.
Oh, are you familiar with this story then?
I have read a little bit about it before.
Oh, care to elaborate?
Well, from what I remember, basically he's saying that in the future he wants to replace the Greenlight process with something a little more... I'm trying to find the right word.
Better, safer, more to their kind.
Reliable.
Efficient?
That too.
Pretty much.
Not shit like War Z.
Yeah, something that won't greenlight questionable products.
Like day one Gary's incident.
Oh boy.
Or say games that might have copyright infringement in them, like Motor Rock.
Oh, that's it. There goes our fucking ratings again. Good job.
Bring on the angry Russians. I'm ready for it.
Well, at least it's not my fault.
What are you talking about? It is your fault. It's always your fault.
You're the closest to the Russians compared to us, at least.
Yeah.
I've never even talked to a Russian before.
You
Neither have
sound
we.
like one.
Okay, you know what? I will give them credit. At least we didn't get any angry Russians on the last podcast where I made that editorial. Actually, we did get one comment from a Russian user, but the translation kind of got screwed up, so I couldn't tell like if it was positive or negative.
I saw that too. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I just read.
Yeah, Metal Slayer 777 said, "Yeah, shitty black PR like a yellow press, proud."
Yeah,
If
I have
understand
no
that
idea.
correctly, I think he was talking about the Black Power Ranger. I personally don't really think there's that much wrong with it, besides the fact that, of course, certain games of disreputable quality can get greenlit, but still, it is a very good way for up-and-coming developers to get some exposure.
Hell, like, it's even possible that, like, great games can come out of it. It's not just all bad, but...
Yeah, exactly.
If it does get reworked, like you said, it's very possible that it'll just end up being much better than the Greenlight we have right now.
Yeah, I like the Greenlight concept, but in practice it really needs to be worked on. Like, the problem at first was that there weren't a lot of titles getting greenlit, and then you would have really good titles that were just, like, sitting in greenlight purgatory. And then they started greenlighting too much shit. And then you get stuff like Dewangari's mod, War Z, Motor Rock, other stuff like that. So if they can find a happy medium with it, then more power to them.
Basically, Steam right now is rather oversaturated with a lot of new releases of, shall we say, dubious quality.
Questionable quality.
Shit.
Good point.
That's a good segue into this Square Enix story.
Oh, God.
Oh, good.
How many of you are familiar with their Core Online streaming service?
Nope.
None.
What? No. Like, no.
Well, they're closing it.
Okay, bye.
Good for them.
Wait, wait a second. How do
Look at
you
all the
how do you
fucks
type
they
that
give.
out?
It's falling from the sky.
How do you type that out?
Just Core Space Online.
Oh, just CORE?
Yeah, it's been around for 18 months.
I've never heard of it.
Same here.
Like, I thought the core you were talking about was something Sony related, which was like QORE or something. I forgot how they spelt it, but that ended a while ago, so it couldn't have been that.
And then when you say core, I keep thinking back to 2011 for some reason.
Well, apparently the reason that they closed it is because they're doing another streaming service that's going to kind of go in place of Core Online.
Twitch.tv. Oh, wait.
No, Hitbox.tv.
No, Justin. Oh.
No,
No,
Instagive.tv.
No, YouTube. Oh, never mind. It's taken down.
Dailymotion.
VO.
Blip.oh.
Blip is fucking throwing us out. Never again.
Microsoft. Oh, wait, no, I'm just reading the next story. Never mind. According to a report from Variety, an Xbox multimedia executive is leaving Microsoft because of the company's new direction. And he explained in a statement later on that, quote, "It became clear to me that the organization is moving in a different direction that does not fit either my expertise or my skill sets. Over the last few months, Microsoft has been undergoing a large-scale reorganization. During that period, I have had the privilege of working with numerous talented and professional people, not Phil Spencer. While I will miss their company and our interaction, I truly believe that this move is in the best interest of all parties concerned."
So, Scott, what does that exactly mean? What does that exactly mean? Like restructuring? Like, is this Microsoft in general, their Xbox division?
From the way the article's worded, I'm taking it that it's the Xbox division.
I'm not sure what to say about that. I mean,
I
can
do.
Xbox release a better console than one that locks out your games?
That probably is it, because they still have DRM on their downloadable ones, which is stupid.
I have no strong feelings either way because I do not own an Xbox and I have no plans to buy one at the moment.
Because isn't it like super overpriced in Europe compared to here? Like the price conversion is super terrible.
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to that sort of thing because, as I said, I have no plans to buy it.
From what I know, the price is $5.99 in the US and €5.99 euros. So you get
I think
super
it's
fucked on
lower than
currency
that, but
conversion.
Don't quote me on that.
I don't know. Would you say that the Ouya is a better console? Or the Ouya?
No.
Okay, well, neither would the founder or co-founder of Ouya, Mufi Gadiali, because he left Ouya.
Well, let me put it this way. I have more interest in buying an Ouya than buying an Xbox. Solely
What
because
about
the
PS4?
Ouya seems like an interesting kind of experimental console, if you know what I mean.
I was gonna say, what about PS4?
Nah, I might pick one up sometime.
What about the Wii U?
Two.
Wii U 2! Now sponsored by the band U2.
Oh God, we
Probably better marketing than what they have now.
I meant that in the sense that I would consider buying one too. But
Yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
probably got that.
So would the day that they look at their sales and see that they're not up to snuff be Bloody Sunday?
Some bloody fucking Sunday.
Okay, anyway, back to the Ouya. Mufi got... I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name, so I'm sorry. Mufi Gadiali left the company, and He hasn't said where he's going, and he hasn't said why he's leaving. And all I can say to that is, thank you for believing!
It's good, don't worry, it's fine, just believe.
Then why the hell are you leaving?
Because he's gonna make another Ouya and not call it the Ouya. It's like, you see, believe in this now.
It'll be called the Waiu
It'll be called the Tuya.
Tuya. And then later on it'll be the Threeya.
Yeah, well, shit happens, I guess. Things don't always work out the way you plan.
No, Oni, it would just be called the Ouya 1.
Ouya 1! DRM's up the ass.
No,
Games? What's that?
I got a better one. It's gonna be called the Oh Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do-do-do.
I could make this next joke, but I think I'm gonna take the high road and skip it.
Would you also skip out on a Kickstarter started by the creator of Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yes.
Well, a lot of people aren't. Because a Kickstarter started by Yasumi Matsuno, who does like Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, Tactics Ogre. He started a Kickstarter for a project called Unsung Story Tale of the Guardians. And as of this podcast recording, there's 26 days left. It has $600,000 set as its goal, and it's at $370,000. I think it's safe to say that this one's probably going to get funded.
Oh, well, good for them.
Is it like another tactical game in the vein of like Final Fantasy Tactics? I could see why people want that funded. I mean, quite frankly...
Yeah, me too, but I personally don't have much interest in it because I'm not a fan of those kind of games myself. Yeah.
I'd have more better luck wanting to play Pokemon Conquest than Final Fantasy Tactics because, no offense,
Did you say Final Fantasy Texas?
Oh boy, does that mean we're gonna have to make a game starring Angel and Shadow as the main characters?
And you have to pick the right smoothies.
And the biggest dungeon would be San Japan.
This is kind of going over my head, but I'm still laughing for some reason.
Well, you're new. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, newbie.
Newbie, who's the one that still got banned from Bang?
What?
Shut up. We're not getting that story again.
Actually, the next story is about Bing.
Is it over?
No, it's not. I just wanted Oni to react to that.
God. Well, it worked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Let's move away from Kickstarter for now and enter a new place. Namely, SimCity. That SimCity.
You mean the debacle SimCity?
Yes. Well, they are finally officially taking the game offline. And by that I mean you'll be able to play it offline.
Oh my god, that's a miracle!
Doesn't mean the game's good.
Yeah. It's good for the people who play it, I suppose, but too little too late.
I'd rather still play SimCity Social than I would the actual SimCity.
I'd rather play SimCity 2000, and I don't even like SimCity.
I don't care.
I have 2 copies of SimCity 2000 somehow.
Kind of like how I had 2 copies of Mario 64 and just gave it away to you, I think?
I think my brother has my copy of 2000.
I also have 2 copies of Silent Hill 2. Not sure how that happened.
I got 2 copies of NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
I love how we're more interested in that than the SimCity article.
I'll tell you guys a funny story related to SimCity. Back when I was doing an IT course at school, we actually had to play SimCity 3000 as part of a class project and write a manual for it.
Did you pass?
I think I did. But basically, the only thing we did while we were in class, we just sat at our computers and played SimCity 3000 for an hour every Friday or so. I suppose it was more fun than actual lessons.
I would just get bored and turn on all the natural disasters.
I think that's what a lot of people did, actually.
How about we end gaming news on a high note? Awesome Games Done Quick 2014.
Oh man, I'll just say I was there for like the final run up until like really late morning. Oh,
Yeah,
I unfortunately missed out on most of it.
Well, they're it's all archived on their Twitch channel, and they're gonna upload the runs separately. So.
and that on YouTube, and that usually takes a while. Like I've noticed, like it took a while for like Summer Games Done Quick and all that stuff.
You know, they have to encode everything, and
Yeah.
they've got like 2 runs done so far. I should probably explain this. For those of you who don't know what it is, Awesome Games Done Quick 2014 was January 5th through the 11th, and they did like a few days afterward as like a bonus stream. And they had the goal of raising $500,000 for the Prevent Cancer Foundation by playing through a bunch of games as fast as they could, like non-stop. They ended up surpassing that goal, and in fact, by the end, doubling that goal. They raised over $1 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
That is pretty fucking amazing.
$1 million.
Da-na-na.
That's what they did when they announced it. Like I was there live when it happened. He came out and just actually did the Dr. Evil Pinky thing. $1 million. And it happened after the greatest Chrono Trigger ending, where they finished the final boss with Luca's Wonder Shot, which is apparently her best weapon in the game, but doesn't really like do a lot of damage sometimes. So it's kind of luck based whether the damage is good or not. And it fucking finished the final boss off, and everyone cheered. It was so good.
I'm just gonna say, if you can only watch one thing from the entire marathon, watch the blindfolded Punch-Out runs.
Yeah, I had heard a lot of buzz about that on Twitter. That was apparently pretty amazing.
Yeah, they did Mike Tyson's Punch-Out blindfolded and got to Mike Tyson, and they did Super Punch-Out blindfolded and beat the game.
I salute your gaming excellence.
Yeah, you crazy bastards.
And I'm not sure. Scott, did you donate?
Oh yeah, I donated like $120.
Jesus!
I didn't even know that was happening, so I couldn't donate anything, I'm afraid.
I think I donated about maybe $22 ish. Like, cause I bought 2 T-shirts, and like that kind of went towards the charity as well.
Oh,
Come to think of it, I may have tuned in for a few minutes as myself and probably donated like $10.
I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but there was kind of a scary moment in the middle of the marathon where the fire alarm went off and they had to evacuate the building. There was this like Monster Hunter cat stuffed animal thing that they were playing around with during the runs, and it was left on one of the chairs in the back. And the stream was still going through all of this, so it was just a static shot of this abandoned cat while the fire alarm is going off. And then, out of nowhere, somebody runs into the room, grabs the cat, and runs out.
I saw the gif of that. It was, like he was pretty much proclaimed a hero by the Twitch chat.
That helped lead to the marathon trending #1 on Twitter.
Honestly, I'm ready for this year's Summer Games Done Quick.
I'm honestly thinking of like trying out to be a runner for that.
Ooh.
The problem is, all the games I speedrun are shit.
So you're part of the Awful Games Done Quick.
Probably.
It's okay. I mean, Time Cop.
There will never be another Time Cop.
Well, if you do decide to participate, good luck for me.
That's still a ways off, though. They still gotta finish planning and shit for it. But anyway, that's all I have for gaming news. Moving right along. Upcoming releases. And the very first thing on this that I see on the list is Tomb Raider We Need Money Edition.
I remember. Didn't Square Enix call Tomb Raider sales a failure? So let's try again.
By the end of 2013, they said that sales were in the black.
That's bad, right?
No, in the red is bad.
Okay, because I've never heard in the black before. I've always heard in the red and nothing else.
You know, I'm not going to mention that. It's based on a movie. Moving on. I'm not going to mention that. It's Final Fantasy 13. Moving on.
No, it's Lightning Returned, bitch Fantasy 13-3.
What's the
I'm pretty
movie,
sure there
game?
is. I'm pretty sure there is a Final Fantasy-esque game coming out that would definitely be better than Final Fantasy 13.
Well, it's going to be better by default. A Bravely default, right? Meanwhile, later in February, there's going to be, on the Wii U, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, finally.
Ooh.
Oh, it's
I see.
February? I don't know why I thought March for that.
I
Release
still
date
need to play
says
the first
mid to
game.
late February.
Same Akago, I haven't played the first one. My brother had it emulated though, but I never really, tried it.
Oh, wait, there's a Lego The Hobbit game?
Not
Yeah, I'm
that
pretty sure
surprised.
that was, yeah. They did Lego Lord of the Rings.
Oh, right. Okay, moving on. Yeah, I don't even know why I bother with the PS Vita section of upcoming releases, because I rarely ever find anything. Let's just close that window.
Yeah.
Oh, also, later in February, the new Thief is coming out.
Yay.
Indifference.
I don't know. I like Thief. This one could be good, but there is some buzz around it that I'm not too sure about.
Drive Club. Wait, this isn't out yet?
No.
The fuck, Sony?
Yeah, they said they delayed it. Originally it was gonna be like free with PlayStation Plus? I forget. For like the PS4.
It says it's releasing in March.
They must have delayed it.
Is that some kind of racing game?
Yeah.
And guess what? I also read that Drive Club's not going to be out for the Japan launch either, so...
Oh.
The next generation.
It's beginning to look a lot like the last one.
Moving on, a little later. Oh, right. This is a thing. Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well, Ground Zeroes?
Yeah.
Then it's not the complete product. That's like the beginning of it. There's still like the
I
Phantom
tried it.
Pain.
I still want it.
And I know this is like a weird thing to bring up, but Ground Zeroes is it like a $40 title? Like, do they know like how much is it gonna be like full price?
It says 40.
Okay, so it's slightly less priced. It's weird because not since maybe King Kong on the Xbox 360, I've seen a game with a full 1,000 gamer score with less than 20 achievements. Ground Zeroes has 15 achievements. I know it doesn't matter to most, but that strikes me as odd. Even though I know it's not the entire Metal Gear Solid 5, because we still got the Phantom Pain coming, which I have no idea when that's coming out.
Achievements, schmushmeavements.
Well, I know that later in February, Lords of Shadow 2 is coming out.
My fucks are negative. Next.
I don't care. I'll ask Blondie about it later, because I know he's probably going to play it.
Of course he will. You know,
I saw
honestly,
it.
fuck Lords of Shadow, okay?
I saw his playthrough of the demo of that. It looked interesting.
Okay,
That's all
what
I'm
would
gonna
you
say
say
about
looked
it.
better? The demo of that, or the Mega 64 skit of it?
I haven't seen the Mega 64 skit.
South Park Stick of Truth.
Will it get delayed again?
It's allegedly slated for early March. Allegedly.
Yeah, March of 2015.
I suppose that's good for all the people excited about that game, which
Yeah, and
I'm
MJ
one of them.
Knight. And MJ Knight is going to make constant Cartman bat jokes on me. Love you, MJ.
I love you too, even though I barely know you.
Who are these people? Why am I here right now? What am I doing?
Oh, I forgot about this one. Mid to late March, Infamous Second Son.
Fuck, how can I forget about that?
Probably because I still haven't played the other Infamous games, even though I think I have both of them.
Yeah,
I-
same.
I've played both of them.
I think I might pre-order that for the PS4.
I've only played the first myself, but I have to.
You know, I got the Infamous games with the bundle that I got when I got the PS3 over a year and a half ago.
And what are you doing with the PS3?
Play Dragon's Crown.
Have you unlocked online yet? No.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm
But-
getting there. Just
With Infamous Second Son, it better have user-created shit again, because remember the stuff I found in Infamous 2?
oh,
Please. Those are laughable. I want that again. But I'm not sure if it's gonna have it. I don't know that much about the game aside from Troy Baker and better graphics and fire powers, smoke powers, neon powers.
Where there's
Well, I still wanna
smoke,
play it.
there is fire.
When there's fire, there's...
can I end this segment on a character that has octopus powers?
And you lost me.
Octodad, Dadliest Catch.
Oh god, that game.
I honestly had the pleasure of playing that demo on the PS4. I'm like, oh, this is fucking hilarious. I was able to get through it. It's obvious. You obviously have to get used to it, but it's actually surprisingly manageable on PlayStation 4. Considering that it was the first one was a PC game where you had to just use the mouse, like in the Octodad speedrun from Summer Games Done Quick, I think.
With my current PC setup, I would never be able to play Octodad.
Yeah.
I have no room for my mouse to maneuver.
Whereas my PC probably would refuse to run it outright.
Welcome to my world.
Okay.
I don't know about mine.
Okay, you know what, Akago? You know what?
What?
You know what?
What?
You can tell us what games you can run by telling us what you've picked up recently.
Oh boy, recently. Well,
Yeah, newbie.
Okay, Oni,
Well-
you're fired.
Shut up, Oni!
Aw.
well, as you'll probably still remember from my last time on the podcast, I started something called the 100 Game Oath, which basically means I have to play and finish 100 games in my collection before I can actually obtain anything new. So you can probably imagine that in the past year, I have not actually obtained that much to speak of. But there were still a few things that I allowed myself to obtain. Also a few things that I probably shouldn't have, and I adequately punished myself for by playing games like Shadow the Hedgehog. But anyways, what I did pick up, I got Carmageddon for Android, since that was free for one weekend, I think. And since I already owned the PC version, I figured couldn't hurt to get that one. Not too bad. Rise of the Triad, the new one on Steam. And along with that, I got the Apogee Throwback Pack, which contains Extreme Rise of the Triad, the original, Blakestone Aliens of Gold, Blakestone Planet Strike. I also got Duke Nukem Manhattan Project when Interceptor were giving away Steam codes for the Duke Nukem Platformer Pack, which also includes Duke Nukem 1 and 2, which I already owned. I got Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. Since I already owned the original, I figured, what the hell, I'll just get the upgraded version. And in that same vein, I also got XCOM Enemy Within Commander Edition for the PlayStation 3, since I already owned Enemy Unknown. And last but not least, around December, a friend of mine gifted me Cairo on Steam. And that's about it. Oh, and recently, I also obtained a Speedlink Strike Effects USB gamepad for PC, which was a Christmas gift from work. And it finally arrived yesterday, and I found out that the damn thing doesn't work on my PC because the installer for the drivers crashes every time I run it. So yeah.
Yay. Well, I'll go ahead and go next, and this is not going to take very long because I haven't really gotten much of anything. Oh, except, I got a 3DS XL and Fire Emblem Awakening. Moving on.
What? Okay, you gotta tell us this more, because you need to add us a fucking friend code. No, wait. I think they changed all that after the 3DS Miiverse update. But still, what the fuck?
I did not find out about the Miiverse thing until I recently picked up my 3DS for the first time in forever, and I updated
They
it.
added that in December, back in December.
Yeah, I only found out like last week.
Good marketing, Nintendo.
Well, it shows you how often I pick up my 3DS.
You know what, Unreal? It's not as fun unless I just spring it on you, like, without saying anything beforehand.
So, Helix review all over again?
Pretty much.
Fuck you.
But, seriously, that's it for me, so, Unreal, if you want to go.
Okay, I really don't know if I mentioned this last time, but, for the first half of January, for Xbox Live Gold users, Sleeping Dogs was free, so I actually downloaded it, because may as well try and play it. I ended up beating the game, like, last night. I really recommend it. It surprised me at how good it was. And I finally got to use the GameStop gift cards I got for Christmas. Like $60 worth of gift cards. So I bought like 4 360 games. 3 of which I've already played, but wanted to own. So I picked up Bulletstorm, the first Dead Space, Saints Row 2, and I actually went back and played Saints Row 2 and realized how fucking good it was.
I know, that's like my favorite in the series so far.
I'll just say right now, it's the best in the series. Like, that was the highest point, and then... yeah.
And then, oops.
And then fucking oops, THQ happened. And then THQ unhappened because they died, and then fucking oops again. But, and the last game I got that I have not played is LA Noire. And I'm honestly gonna hold off on playing that game until I 100% Red Dead Redemption and play the Undead Nightmare DLC, which I have not done yet.
I still need to do that myself, actually. I have played the original RDR, but not the DLC. Well, since you mentioned the gift coupons before, that actually reminds me, for my birthday last year, I also got a €10 gift coupon for a local video games store chain called Game Mania. But of course, what with my oath and everything, I hadn't actually found a use for it, and I was afraid it was going to expire before I got a chance to. But then when XCOM Enemy Within came out, I finally had an opportunity to put that to use, so that was lucky.
The last thing I want to mention about Saints Row 2, I never got to play it in co-op, but now I'm going through the entire game in co-op, and I'm just laughing my ass off. My friend, his character was Gay Ben, and I'm Duke Nukem. And then he changed to Max Payne, and it has the fucked up face and everything.
Oh god.
We haven't even done many of the missions yet. All we've been doing were activities. So you can tell the pace we're going at.
Good times.
And that should be it for me.
Alright then, Oni.
Where do I begin? I don't think I mentioned this the last time I was on, which has been forever. I got GTA 5 in September. October, I got WWE 2K14. I got Skullgirls and DuckTales Remastered in December.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I was lucky to get Skullgirls before it was delisted.
But they were gonna bring it back anyway.
Yeah, but I wanted it. And this month, oh my god. I ain't got nothing for PS3, so, well, unless you want to bundle it with a Vita. So, for a bundled PS3 and Vita, I got Hotline Miami.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. Annoying as shit sometimes, but still good.
You're really gonna wear out the restart level button.
Yes, I have been. Trust me. I got Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed.
For which system? The PlayStation?
Vita.
Oh. Damn
It
it.
was free.
Most of us have it on Wii U.
Yeah, I got on Vita for free. I ain't got enough to...
Yeah, for free, then that's fine. I mean, at least it's not the 3DS version.
True. And I also got that for the 3DS. Okay, I'm kidding on that one. But since I'm segueing into 3DS...
Wheel of Fortune!
No. I got Pokemon X and Mario Picross. Club Nintendo, gotta love them.
Actually, speaking of Club Nintendo, I haven't gotten it in the mail quite yet, but I did get that special game case that holds like 18 games. There was nothing else with the points I wanted. There were some Virtual Console games, but I'm like, I already have those. I have F-Zero in box, and I already have 1080 snowboarding. I mean, come on, 180s all over the place. That's the only thing I know how to do in that game.
Anyway, and moving on to the Wii U, I got NES Remix, Mega Man X2. I think I mentioned Vegas Stakes at one time. Anyway, might have now. I got Super Punch-Out, Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4, The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, Street Fighter 2: The World Warrior, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Gradius, Urban Champion, Wario's Woods, and Final Fights 1, 2, and 3.
But not Final Fight Guy.
Or Mighty Final Fight.
And besides, you got Super Punch-Out. Now play it blindfolded.
I might do that next time I freaking decide to review it or something. That's it from me and my releases. I'm hoping the next time I come on, I can give you all a surprise.
Wheel of Fortune!
No. My decision on whether or not if I got one system or both.
You're going to get a Dreamcast and a Sega Saturn?
Yes!
A Dreamcast 2?
Yes! Shit. I wasn't supposed to tell that secret.
Wait, is that seriously it?
Oh, fuck off!
I was joking too, man. I don't joke with it, I don't joke with it. Yeah, I fell.
And not only that, getting Aaron's raid. Freaking god damn it! That's like ancient territory, man.
Can we move on to happier times?
Yes.
What is happy?
Sausage.
Happier times equals discussion topic. Unreal, take it away.
I don't know if I want to call this happier times, because... Okay, one of my friends, quite recently brought up something to me, like, in terms of just, Chrono Trigger in particular, because my pawn shop actually has Chrono Trigger, or at least I still think it does have it there. Like, maybe someone else bought it. It happened before, but, he has it listed for $110. And because I'm a good customer there, he'd knock it down to $100. I was debating it, because I have enough money to get it. However, one of my friends I know actually brought this entire price study to me, explaining that Chrono Trigger really isn't that rare, and $100 is a ripoff. And I guess, like, if you want to look at this price study, we can link it in the description. It's in particular for Chrono Trigger, but does a bunch of experiments. Like for example, this entire price study decided to conduct it between June 19th and June 25th, and this was during 2006. Keep in mind, but between the time, he noticed that he just watched eBay and like how many listings of Chrono Trigger came up. I may as well go into this in detail before I actually begin, and hopefully it won't be too long. June 19th, he found 28 listings. 14 were listed as rare. And then June 20th, there were other cartridges, excuse me, alongside with Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger had 30 listings. Mario Kart had 47. Final Fantasy VI, 21 listings. Breath of Fire, 20 listings. Super Empire Strikes Back, Earthbound, SimCity, UN Squadron, Madden 95, for some reason, even though they only had one listing. But the more expensive games, not at least 50% or less, or even way less, were listed as rare. And he just kept conducting this, watching it. How many were listed as rare out of all the entire listings? So, pretty much through that whole study, he concluded that the price averages for the Chrono Trigger cartridge actually averaged at $36.52, and ones that were marked as rare, $41.46. Incomplete, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's just like cartridge and something else that's not the whole thing. Full game would be like $89.25, and factory sealed would be $600. He goes into more and more details. Found out that Chrono Trigger was, at least out of all of that, 44.5% was listed as rare, with 37.7% listed as an average. So in general, this article basically, I don't want to say this is an article, it's not an article, it's just like a page. Chrono Trigger, he comes to the conclusion that Chrono Trigger being rare is actually a misconception. Because of the study, Chrono Trigger is sold very often and is available to anyone with around $30. And basically explains that rarity is defined as difficult to acquire. And basically concluded that Chrono Trigger is most certainly not hard to find, and people just escalate the price. And I actually checked eBay earlier. Most of the bids I'm seeing for the cartridges, at least with like, in terms of bidding, the highest I've seen with at least 2 hours left on the bidding was around $60 or so. After thinking about this, maybe getting Chrono Trigger for $100 isn't a good idea. I'm gonna see if I can talk to my pawn shop owner and like explain this to him. And that brings me to the actual discussion. What really determines rarity in video games?
How many copies of it were made? Or sold?
Well, not just that. As in, like, for example, again, with Chrono Trigger, it's sold often, but it's considered rare, which honestly isn't true. So how would a regular person know a game's rare when in reality there could be plenty of copies that are just sold at a ridiculous price? So how would a regular old person know this? Like, they could just see a game for a high price, grab it, and then later on down the line realize that it's actually really common and feel ripped off down the line.
I have no idea.
The only thing I can really say to that is resisting impulse. Like, being patient with it and doing a little research on it.
Yeah.
And that's becoming easier
reasonable.
and easier to do now.
Well, I was going to say this because I actually want to get this off my chest. We had this little discussion off topic months ago when I was going through my game collection, SNES-wise. I found out I had a few games that were technically rare, like Mega Man X3. And I'm thinking to an extent Mega Man 7, Ogre Battle, etc., etc. Now that you mention it, are they really rare?
Yeah, like, let's put it in this way. Mega Man X1 and 2, like, let's just think back. Why would they not sell as many copies of Mega Man, or produce as many copies of Mega Man X3 in comparison to the first two? That wouldn't make sense. So that's why rarity is definitely a big concern. I mean, there are some games that I'm not really sure are rare or not. Maybe they are. One game in particular that I'm honestly not sure is rare, but it could be, is Castlevania Dracula X for the Super Nintendo. That's one I'm not entirely sure about. I mean, I'm pretty sure about Chrono Trigger now after the study. It actually kind of opened my eyes a bit. But, and hell, even other games like Mega Man X3, who knows? Even Earthbound in some way.
Well, that actually, now that you mention Earthbound, is it really considered rare now due to the fact that it's out on the Virtual Console?
That hasn't stopped Chrono Trigger from being high in price, because that was on Virtual Console. Same with Secret of Mana. But even then, like, I think reasonably rare are factory sealed copies, because they're factory sealed. They haven't been fucking opened. But once they have been open, or just cartridge only, they're going for ridiculous prices, doesn't make much sense, because there's gotta be more copies out there unless some random asshole on Earth actually pulled an ET and dumped them in a landfill.
Yeah, has anybody even found that landfill yet?
I don't know. Maybe years ago? I have no idea. Unless it's just a really good myth.
Part of the problem is we ultimately aren't sure how many copies of the game were produced. And that's like a major factor weighing on the rarity of it. Like, and this doesn't just apply to like classic games or good games. I'll give you an example I'm quite familiar with, Bloody Roar 4. If I go on eBay right now and I type in Bloody Roar 4 looking for copies of the game, I get 2 listings. 2. And back when places like GameStop and shit were still selling PS2 games regularly, I would not be able to find a copy of that game within like 200 miles of my house. So you gotta consider things like how many were produced, which ultimately, unless someone explicitly states it, you're not probably gonna find that out. How many copies are sold, which you'll get approximate numbers at best. And then ultimately what are done with the copies that were produced but weren't sold, which again, you aren't going to be 100% on. And then you get the whole game's shipping to some regions but not others thing, and it's a giant clusterfuck. I'm still pissed about not getting Disaster Day of Crisis.
Well, yeah, because that never came to America.
Then again, Europe didn't get a lot of things, so I guess it evens out.
Hell, I'd like to see Mobile Ops: The 1 Year War come to the States, but
I actually have Disaster Day of Crisis, but I haven't actually gotten around to playing it yet.
Is that part of your oath?
Might be.
and I'm actually gonna say this right now. I know. If anybody has a Japanese 360 they like to donate to me, as well as a copy of Mobile Ops or Operation whatever it was called for that Gundam game, please tell me. Oh my god, I would play the shit out of that. I don't care how bad it or good it be.
Oh god. Okay, I'm on eBay right now. I'm looking at this buy it now thing. It has multiple games. Like 6 games in total, and they're all RPGs. It contains Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, or 6, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and Super Mario RPG. Total price, $309.
Yeesh.
And these are all carts only. So, like, altogether, like, I don't think altogether those games would be, $300, even though if they're in good condition. I mean, I guess in terms of price, condition matters too. I mean, most people want a good looking cartridge, one that actually works, instead of one that has Blockbuster stickers all over it, that are over the actual game stickers that will fucking ruin it. God damn it, that pisses me off.
or ones that make a rattling sound when you pick it up and move it.
Yeah, I think I have a couple games that do that. Is that like...
I actually have a copy of Ninja Gaiden Trilogy that's rare, and it does do that, but it works.
Is that just like a piece of plastic in there, or would that be like the battery? Save battery, if it even has it? I don't know.
I doubt that's the save battery.
Yeah, we would have to like open it up and see, but that's usually, you know. On the topics with rarity, it's not just eBay or just like online stuff. Go to a convention sometime.
Oh.
Honestly, I think conventions are a little more guilty with this bullshit compared to like, say, eBay or something.
Well, I think it varies depending on the vendor, because...
What, like not this shit again? Oh, I want to go back to that game listing with like the multiple games. This one is, I think, from the same person, and it's the same games except for Mystic Quest and Mario RPG. The price is $274.95. So, apparently some of these games are priced ridiculously high, yet Mystic Quest and Mario RPG are, according to that price bundle, around $20 each. So what the fuck? But let's go back to a convention. Like, depending on the vendor, like, no matter what convention, games can be pretty pricey depending on their quote-unquote rarity. I remember when I was at Anime North, I think I saw a maybe box copy of the Super Nintendo version of The Adventures of Batman and Robin. $100! I'm like, what? Like, really? How is that rare? In fact, I'm gonna look it up right now.
The convention environment is really different, though. In conventions, you only have a few days in which to try and sell your stock, because most vendors are on the mentality of there are going to be impulse buyers, so for the first day, maybe 2 days, they're going to price things higher than they usually would. And then when you get to like the last day, they're going to start like price cutting stuff, because they ultimately would rather just not take it back and sell it for a little less than they had it marked at before. That in the convention environment, you can haggle a little more than you would in, say, like a store.
Yeah, Zero is actually familiar with haggling quite a bit.
I've haggled by accident before.
I was gonna say, if I ever did a vending at a convention, I wanted to sell my stuff, it'd be just $5. Because I'm not gonna be able to sell Mega Man X3 for $100. That's stupid.
Okay, Adventures of Batman and Robin. Let's take cartridge only. In good condition. Everything looks great on it. $55. And yeah, the box copies, like whether it be like unopened or not, it's definitely over $100. Sealed and unopened, this listing, $400. Like, I honestly wish there was a way to actually determine, like, properly determine how rare games are. Like, how in the earth would people know how many copies there are left in, like, the fucking universe, physically?
You're never going to be able to properly figure that out.
Exactly. So people just assume and inflate the price because of that, which honestly sucks. I was pretty much given a deal. I haven't done it yet. I have to make sure the deal still stands. I'd be getting a boxed copy of Earthbound for $90. And after you see boxed copies on eBay for Earthbound and what prices they go to, I'd say $90 is like, holy crap.
Boxed with the strategy guide?
Yes. I'm pretty sure, yes. If it didn't have the strategy guide, I would honestly just go for cartridge.
$90 is actually close to what it originally listed as when it first came out.
Exactly. I mean, I got Secret of Mana for like $60, which honestly I'd be okay with, but I'm pretty sure Secret of Mana would be like a little cheaper than that. And I want to go back to that Chrono price study and looking at the other games that were listed. Chrono Trigger had a price average of $36.52. This was back in 2006, mind you. Earthbound's average was $56.55. Final Fantasy 6 or 3 $26.49. And hell, even Breath of Fire is like $15. So, a lot of the stuff that's listed as rare, it's most likely bullshit.
At the end of the day, we don't know what's rare and what's not, to be honest. I could tell you Phineas and Ferb Quest for Cool Stuff is rare and it's $500. Some people would believe it, if you're dumb enough.
Yeah, in the end, it probably just comes down to keeping your eyes open and not get scammed.
I mean, yeah, it's still possible to get scanned, but at least for the most part with the games I've listed, at least you're getting good games. If you got scammed for a shitty game that's considered rare, I'd be really pissed. I mean, I'd still be pissed I paid more than what it actually would be normally if the prices were reasonable for a game like Chrono Trigger, but it's like, it's still at least a good game, but that shouldn't excuse price inflation for just being rare.
You just reminded me of this awful YouTube game review thing, which was, it was one of those things where you just point the camcorder at the TV and talk over it for like 10 minutes.
That Rainbow Six PSP video where there was no review?
No, the dude who reviewed Bloody Roar 4. And at the end of the video he said, "This game is really rare. I had to pay like $80 for it." By the way, current eBay listing for it, $32.
Yeah, and back at Anime North again. How much did you find Bloody Roar 4 at that one vendor?
Like 25.
I thought it was 40. Whichever way, you laughed in their face. Or like in front of them. So the last thing I could really just say about this entire thing is just pretty much what Akago said. Keep an eye out, like look at listings and just notice how how listings start. The reason they go higher is for A, they're non-bidding ones. Like say, if it was a buy it now, they'd price it super high. If it was bidding, they'd start at a price that actually would make sense in terms of how common the game actually is. The reason it goes higher is because more people bid. Keep that in mind. I mean, it may be a miracle if I could convince my pawn shop worker about this for Chrono Trigger and actually get it for $50, which would be an actual proper price for a game like that. Not 100 or even more.
Yeah, that's part of the problem though, is that when you get to some of these local retro or trade-in places that deal in old games,
they base it off those. Yeah, that's the big problem. This is why, like, I can just show him the study and see what happens. It's probably not going to change his price because he probably got it from a listing on eBay and paid that money. Which means if no one buys it or buys it at way less, he's not going to get a good return for that. That's the problem. But I have yet to go in. I'm waiting until, like, my next paycheck, because I have a lot of work, I have a lot of work days starting in a couple of days, like, in a row, so I'm going to be exhausted after that. But we'll see. I mean, there's probably nothing we can do about it, but I'm a good customer there, so it's possible I might actually change something about it, but I'm not holding my breath.
I think I've said about all I can on this subject.
And I have nothing more to add either.
I think I pretty much covered all the bases I needed to on this entire subject. I mean, I really want to own a physical copy of Chrono Trigger, but god damn it, people. Can you just, for once, be reasonable? No, because they only care about the dollar bill and being rich.
Holla holla get dollar.
Oh, actually, before I go, this is very important. Especially if you end up paying high for a game. Read the fine print! You have to make absolutely sure that the thing you're getting isn't a reproduction cart or, hell, like, not even the game you asked for, or hell, in worst case scenario, a picture of the game. Like that one guy that got an Xbox One picture for the price of an Xbox One.
Or the dude who bought an Xbox box.
Exactly, so while looking at these listings, you definitely gotta pay close attention.
Speaking of reproduction carts, don't get ripped off by the reproductions that recently went out for Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Wait, what?
That's a thing.
Why were they reproduced?
I don't know.
Let me look on eBay for that now. God damn it. Oh boy. $170
Is that for just the cartridge?
for just the cartridge.
God damn it.
And these aren't the reproductions. These are the fucked up cartridge ones.
Oh, the one with like some 5-year-old's name written on them?
Well, I don't know. For play on Super Nintendo. Great instruction book. Instruction book by itself is $44. Get out.
Very Noah, much Ark.
Wow. And you brought up reproduction carts. I know I want to end this subject soon, but there are some reproduction carts that actually make sense for games like that haven't really been physically released. Star Fox 2 is a great example, because that game is actually technically finished. So having a reproduction card of that isn't too bad. But again, how much would they go for? Same with back to Chrono Trigger, there's actually a couple of Chrono Trigger sequels or ROM hacks that got cartridges. And I noticed this when I was looking at Chrono Trigger listings. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I've never seen this before. But whatever. I've said my stuff on this subject.
Drop the mic, walk away.
Okay. What the Hagane for like 300 fucking.
Okay, let's move on.
Please.
We'll be here all night.
Hopefully there's something less headache-inducing like viewer questions.
Akago, did you ask one this week?
I actually did.
Alright. You're here. Tell us now.
And the question is from Akago! And he/you said, what are some of the worst gaming-related communities you've ever been a part of?
Every single one.
So I actually have kind of a story.
Do you want to elaborate that on?
Yeah, elaborate. Like, what exactly are you looking for?
You know,
I didn't really have anything specific in mind, but basically like a forum or some kind of user group or a clan, I don't know.
Yeah, it's called RiverCityGamers.
Well, if nobody wants to go first, then I guess I'll just
Yeah, go first.
go ahead with my story. Well, do any of you guys know an old PC game called ZZT?
No.
Can't say I know that.
Well, it was actually one of the very first games made by Epic Games. And what it is, it's basically this top-down action RPG kind of thing in ASCII graphics, so everything is all text or blocks or stuff. And one of the big things about it was it actually came with a level editor so that you could create your own worlds for it with completely programmable objects and whatnot. And as it happens, because of how flexible it is, it's still pretty popular among certain people nowadays, and there is a whole community around it called Z2, which, being interested in the game, I actually joined at one point, but then I found out what kind of people are actually in it. And basically these are elitist assholes who are completely unfriendly to any and all newbies. They will openly mock you for your naive ideas. And, well, let me put it this way. One of the standard emoticons on their forum was a picture of Adolf Hitler with a caption that said, "Oh, I see."
Sounds inviting.
Yeah. So I only stuck around for a little while before I thought, yeah, fuck this. I'll leave them to whatever the hell it is they find entertaining.
I've honestly never been a part of a really bad forum community because I never really got involved. The closest that, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it kind of fell apart. I know SCR was a part of it. I think you know where I'm going. Okay, once upon a time, there was this forum called the PAX B forums. It seemed okay at first, but my memory's very fuzzy. I do remember a couple of people that were definitely on there, including most of the members on this site that we're pretty much all friends now, so I gotta give it to that at least. But just a lot of fucking drama happened and it fell apart to the point where we pretty much abandoned the forums and just did our own thing. And I think the forum died too. And then another one was built. Didn't really bother with that one. And that's pretty much it. I don't have many to go off of. I mean, I've always been thinking about joining the Something Awful forums, but I wouldn't call that terrible. Even though you have to, like, pay to get in, but they moderate that place really well. And from the times I have been able to, like, lurk and read on it, from when I was able to, like not pay and just read stuff, of course I can't post, seems pretty good there, and actually pretty funny there too. But yeah, PAX B is basically the only place that I can think of that I was a part of, and it just kind of got really bad.
My experience with this is kind of limited, but I just want to say, anytime I ever try to get involved with a community on GameFAQs, it's always gone poorly. And that includes the time that I tried getting involved with some people who posted about Bloody Roar. The main examples that stick out in my mind, though, I have a few of them. Number one, there's a game I still play called Continuum. And it's like a top-down spaceship-style game, and people make their own zones to mold the game to certain types of things, like capture the flag, king of the hill, hockey, basketball, all kinds of stuff. And there are a couple of zones in particular that are pretty terrible with their communities. But the one that is easily the worst for me is Trench Wars. You would not believe some of the just immature fuckheads that you will find in Trench Wars. Another example that I have is, this was incredibly brief, but I tried getting involved back when I got WWE 13 with some of the WWE players of the game, and bunch of egos in there. And in particular, anytime I tried to play a multiplayer game and tried to join someone else's game, 95% of the matches were special referee matches. And the reason for that is, there would be at least two people who, one was a participant in the match, and one was the referee, and they would work together so that that person would win and be able to rank up faster. Meanwhile, everyone else was just getting screwed over by the friend's ref. So that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And the last one I'll mention is something it's not as extreme an example, but it's gotten kind of bad recently, is EverQuest, since it went free to play. Because now the out-of-character chat is just filled with people trying to make in-game money off of trying to farm materials for people. It's just gotten much worse since it went free to play.
I've got nothing to add because God knows I play bad games all the time, so I really can't say nothing.
Okay, well, if anyone out there has a question that they want to be answered on the podcast, feel free to ask us in the comments, send us a message on our YouTube account, ask us on the site upload to the River City Gamers site, or you can ask us on Facebook, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers. And since you were so anxious to talk about updates, Oni, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
Well, as you know, the final season of Raw Down Rebound is in full swing. That means after Season 8, we're done.
Now, how long is Season 8 gonna go?
Until after WrestleMania 30. And I was supposed to use this as a surprise, but our podcast recording got fucked up. So, starting this Friday coming up, the Royal Rumble retrospective is coming. And it'll start with the 1988 Rumble. Can't wait for that. And the return of the arcade room is coming, with 3 titles already in contention to be reviewed. DuckTales Remastered, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, which I did mention of what I got, and I apologize, and Daytona USA. And as for Snack Attack, Snack Attack's random. You just don't know what I'll do for Snack Attack.
Alright, well, I guess I'll go next. I just recently wrapped up the recording phase for the next episode of the Bloody Roar Retrospective. Now, whether I'm going to have time to finish scripting everything together and going over the video footage again before my goal of getting it out by mid-March, I'm not entirely sure. But I'll do what I can. And I am actually planning within the next few weeks to release the first episode, finally, of RiverCityGamers.
Ooh.
Oh my god, it's finally happening.
Only took me, 8 months?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to go for a title, I think.
Possibly. Depends on what happens when I throw the dart at the booking dartboard.
Well, at least it's right in queue after I finally joined the site.
By the way, I'm just
actually
kidding,
a
I
part
don't
of
have a
that.
dartboard. I have a random number generator. But anyway, I still have to finish the playthrough of Beyond Oasis for 16-bit Winter, so I have some work to do on that as well. And since Plug and Play has now officially been kicked off by Angel and Wiz, I have an episode of that, which I'm probably going to upload in about a week or so, and it pertains to something called the Aura Interactor. So you have that to look forward to, although I kind of screwed up my back while I was using it.
Oh yeah, you mentioned something about that.
Oh yeah, at
You feeling better now?
SCXCR said, my back hurts.
But you feeling better now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
The Aura Interactor is back in the box and it's never going to be opened again. And I think that's it for me. So, Akago?
Well, I have only recently finished my first ever video game review in probably 3 years since I quote-unquote retired, which was the Dreamweb review, which you may or may not have seen on the RiverCityGamers website. But now that that's done, I am currently in the planning stages of my next video, which is going to be a top 10 related to video games, and on a subject that I'm sure not a whole lot of people, if anybody, has ever covered before. So that should be interesting. And beyond that, I have a bunch of other different videos planned that I'm not sure when or if they're gonna happen, but nonetheless, plenty of ideas going around in this crazy little head of mine, so there should be more than enough content coming out in the coming year, if I can actually find the time to do any work for it.
I was gonna say, I don't mean to cut you off, Akago, and I apologize for this, but I did have one thing in the works that kind of involves SCR and you, and I kind of wanted to surprise you.
Oh?
Yep. I was thinking of launching this as soon as the WWE Network was launched. The B-side. Tentative title in progress. It's where I review the B pay-per-views, and I kind of want SCR to be the first guest.
Okay, and how does that relate to me? Because, as you know, I'm not really a wrestling guy.
I'll figure out something. And I was thinking, I don't know what's going to come out yet for the WWE Network besides the live pay-per-views for free. So you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out. That's one of the projects I've been thinking of, and I didn't mention it, and I apologize. I'm just going crazy over here.
But as for videos I'm working on, well, this isn't the video I'm actually working on, but I just needed to mention this because SCXCR was talking about Bloody Roar 4 earlier. One of the comments that I recently received on one of my videos was one guy requested that I review Bloody Roar 4.
No.
Now, I have no idea why he would ask that of me, because I have never, ever, ever given the slightest indication that I ever played any of the Bloody Roar games, much less own any of them. So I have no idea why he would ask this of me.
Wait. Hold on. Back up. Was this user's name?
I do not remember.
Because if it is, fuck that guy.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm back now. Yeah, I wasn't here when you were finishing up the viewer question stuff. Were there other questions, or was that it?
That was it.
God damn it. Okay, in terms of reviews, my next review, I've got the game footage all set for the most part. At least as much as I could personally get from the game. I don't know about a release date. I'm not expecting it to be done in January. February, maybe. I still have to write the script and stuff. I haven't really had much time to. And this week isn't looking good because of my work schedule. I still need to finish up the 16-bit Winter LP. I haven't had time to just sit down and do it. It should be really easy to do, but something's just stopping me from doing it. Those are the only two I'm focusing on right now. There's still some videos that are a couple of years old that I still need to work on, like con videos and stuff, but that's low priority. I'd rather get 16-bit Winter and the new review done first. And maybe after the new review, I could work on a plug-and-play review. Because I actually have something that would work well for that. And that's pretty much everything I've got for that. So, for new review, expect maybe February. Maybe.
Alright, well, I believe that brings us to the end of the podcast. Once again, I am SCXCR.
I am Unreal.
I am Oni.
I am Akago.
And I really gotta use the bathroom.
Same here.
Oh, come on, I just ate. Now it's time to poop it all out.
Drop the mic, walk away.
Okay.
Bye, Unreal.
Fucking gotta fix the thing now. God damn it. Oh.